Hello and welcome to Wednesdays with WV. This is episode number 10. Before I get off to anything else, I'd like to congratulate the women's team for winning the Asia Cup in such an emphatic manner. Deepti Sharma was the player of the series and she's been in the news for a lot of right reasons. Unfortunately, now and then she gets dragged into something which is absolutely unwarranted. All she did was to try and play according to the laws of the game and within the laws of the game. There's been a lot of talk about what she did in one of the games against England. Be that as it may, we'll talk all about there is to talk as far as the run out is concerned. I, for one, believe that a name is being attached to that dismissal in cricket, which to start off with is not right. And I'll be talking about that particular mode of dismissal on this episode. As I first heard about the mode of dismissal, I knew there was that mode of dismissal possible in cricket because the first thing anybody does is when you try to play a game or a sport, you make it a point to know the laws or the rules that govern the sport slash game. So I got to know about this mode of dismissal, and it was only later on when I started playing representative cricket that I was aware of the fact that it was referred to as the Mankad dismissal. And then, obviously, coming into contact with a lot of cricketers of the earlier generation, I posed them questions about why it was called so, and I was given the reason for it as well. But even then, I was not very impressed about the fact that a run out was being given a name because that particular cricketer happened to affect it on a cricket field. I don't remember any dismissal along these lines in first class cricket, but it happened on the tour of South Africa, where Peter Kirsten was loitering away and he was taking undue advantage by taking a start, backing up too much. Kapil Dev, I think, was involved in that particular incident. And to be fair to Kapil Dev, he did tell Peter Kirsten at least on two occasions not to leave the crease before the ball has been delivered. And it was a tight game. All the games were tight, and India obviously was very keen to win. And as far as Kapil Dev saw it, as far as we saw it, Peter Kirsten was given a fair bit of time to understand what he was doing and also to ensure that he did not repeat. But he failed to heed what Kapil Dev told him. And on the third occasion, I think it was third or fourth occasion, Kapil Dev stopped and then effected the run out. And I must tell you, it did not go down well with many people. Even way back in the 80s, when a lot of these things were considered by cricketers generally, and it was also a case of playing within the spirit of the game as well, was very common thing those days. I remember Krishnamachari Sreesanth was just as usual loitering away that he does in between deliveries. He was going towards square leg, but he didn't realize he was outside the crease. There he was, not taking a run there, and he was just sauntering around like he normally does, which became kind of a laugh and also something that people liked once he started playing more regularly for India. I remember in that test, I think it was in Bombay, in his first series as well. I might also tend to think that it was his debut game, but I'm not very sure. I remember John Embury from Gully or just from behind square. He picked the ball up and had a shy at the stumps, got him run out. Even those days, it was something that people would not have thought about it. But the long and short of it is that it is imperative that the player guards his crease and he stays within his crease when the ball is in play. That's what is important. And if you are not going to protect your crease and if you are run out, the fault is totally yours. You can't blame anybody else. If a player is going to be repeatedly going out of the crease and if he or she is run out, then that particular player should not have anything to talk about because it's almost become a kind of a habit. And even after once or twice rather, if a player does not learn his or her lessons, then obviously that's something which will not be looked upon with a great sense of pride, isn't it? Because you can make mistakes, one can make mistakes, but the thing is not in repeating it. If one particular player is being run out in a similar fashion more than once, and then I think there's something that the player needs to keep track of, and also to be desperately sure that he or she does not leave the crease before the ball is released.
Could you guys indicate with a show of hands whether you'd be comfortable if one of your bowlers would run out a non-striker during this tournament, whether you would or not?
Any captain would always support his or her player, and maybe the occasion is something that would also be seen at when people pass judgments or give their opinions. Yes, immediately after a game when emotions were running high, people would not have expected the captain to outrightly say that we will do it again. But if you look at it from the other side, on the other side of the coin is that a captain will always support this or her own player. And if Harmanpreet Kaur has said, "I will not mind my player doing it again," then she can't be faulted. There it is. It's a open warning. You can't be repeatedly, telling each and every player, "Please don't leave the crease. My bowler will get you run out." It's a funny situation, isn't it? You're talking about no warning being given, whereas a captain is already now, from now on, anybody who's going to walk out of the crease needs only herself to be blamed, isn't it? Because the Indian captain has already given an open warning. I'll support my player, and if there need be my bowler will perhaps even do it again. This is being argumentative. People might not take kindly to what I'm saying, but these are harsh realities of life. These things happen, these incidents will take place.
I'm not Deepti, but I won't do it. Doesn't mean you can still leave early. I don't think I did.
I don't think it was called for. Dragging Deepti to be dragged in a game where two other countries are involved in a game. I don't think that was warranted. Yes, people will have their views, but the long and short of it is that there are these laws of this game, and everybody needs to follow it. Now, spirit of the game, yes, there are times when batters walk when they know they're big. There are times they don't walk. So, when they are not walking, when they are waiting for the umpire's decision, will you call them cheat? No. The umpire is there to give the decisions. Everything is a matter of opinion, isn't it? Sometimes the batters walk, sometimes the same batters have not walked. And we've also seen batters knowing very well that they have nicked to first slip, and they also made use of the lacuna where the reviews were exhausted, and even though the catch went to a slip fielder, we've seen batters stay the ground and benefit out of it. Was it not against the spirit of the law? That should stop. There are now two ways about it. Being called Mankading should stop for the simple reason it is described as a run out in the laws of cricket by the apex governing body. Now, this is silly because the first dismissal that ever happened by way of a bowled in cricket is not named after the bowler who got the batter bowled, isn't it? For example, if Mr. Smith was one when cricket started first, if he were to get the first wicket bowled, it's not called Smith, is it? So why is this called Mankad? Because Mankad did it in a game. It is always referred to as a run out as far as the laws of cricket are concerned. So it has to be called as a run out. For those of you who've been following us on the handles of Sportstar and the Hindu, subscribe and also press the like button, and you are welcome to give us your feedback, because we would like to know what it is that you have to say about all our episodes, and also what it is that you'd like to see in the future as well. So like, subscribe, and please tell all your friends to watch the fantastic conversations that I've had in the earlier episodes. and the ones that I'll do in the future too.